Hello and welcome back to Got a Problem Mate podcast. That's the podcast where you send in a problem if you want, or then we solve each other's problems, and also a guest problem. That's right. We always have a guest. It's on YouTube. It's
Not
a
always.
video cast. That's true. Video cast and podcast on all your apps and on YouTube. And if you want to email in, gotaproblemmate@gmail.com. That's how
what
to
you do.
contact.
That's how we do it. All right.
Yeah. He's very touchy today.
I'm primed.
What does that mean?
I'm
You
Joey
drank
Page, by the
Prime.
way. Hello. If you're tuning in for the first time after our massive viewer boost last month, maybe you're new.
Maybe you're new. We had, yes.
If you're new, I'm Joey Page. I'm a stand-up comedian. This is my friend Bilal. He's a stand-up comedian. We're doing this podcast that you're watching or listening to right now.
Okay, I thought you were going to do a little insult at me there.
No?
It didn't happen.
No?
Did you watch the football yesterday?
The Tottenham game,
Yeah.
where we won 1-0.
You didn't win 1-0.
We won 1-0 because we gave you 2 free goals and you gave us 1 free goal, so we won 1-0.
No, we gave you 2 free goals.
You gave us 1.
No, that first one was bad defending as well, so we gave you 2 free
Right,
goals.
it's 0-0.
It was 0-0. The Coys boys and the Gunners finally in agreement.
I thought I'd wear this coat on today, but it's too hot. So I might
It's a
take it off
nice
at some
coat. It's
point.
like detective.
I thought I had a good look today, so I thought I'm going with it.
How have you been?
I'm a bit furious today. I've had a long week, and my problem is a retrospective problem today about travel. Okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You going to say what it is?
Do you want me to do it now?
If you want.
It's quite long. So I thought maybe I'll wait till we've got our
Let's
guest
wait till the
in
guest is on.
situ.
I'll tell you my one because it's just easy. Because I think it's something our guest could help with potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do creatively with my life at the moment. I don't know what's best.
This!
This.
Get
just
this bigger.
Get this bigger.
Then all you have to do is sit around and like do this like once a week and get loads of money from it.
And then you can do like
Do marketing for this.
average stand-up and people think it's great.
You said it.
Shall we
Was
introduce
that a dig at anyone in particular?
No, all of them.
All of them.
Shall we introduce our guest?
I think so, and then we'll see who
Shall we
he
do an
thinks you
intro?
were having a dig at.
Okay. We'll do an intro each.
Right.
I hope that's
sorry.
okay. That's fine.
I spoke too soon. I'm
fine.
not here.
We'll start again from the
Yeah,
top.
yeah. You guys.
Hello
do it.
and welcome. Our guest today is a very creative lad. He's someone I've not actually known that long, really. I think we only know each other when we get thrown into gigs with each other. But except the only thing with that is we're not just doing normal stand-up gigs. We end up doing stuff where we're on stage together, interacting and stuff. And he's very good at that, etc. And we will talk about that and more stuff than that in the coming hour. That's how long it is. It's good, isn't it?
That is not a good
It's like
intro.
Jeremy Vine.
Not a good intro, is it? Are you
Isn't
happy
it?
with that?
Yeah,
Are you happy with
It
that?
felt true.
It's Joz Norris.
Yeah. Hello.
All right, now he's going to do one.
Yeah.
But he used to be a professional on Fubar.
Oh, okay. So you'll.
Do you remember that?
You'll know what you're doing. Yeah. What was that? What was
No,
food?
I think it was a tax haven.
Right. Okay.
It
Who ran
didn't
it?
really have any listeners, but it was very professional.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to interview some great people. No offense.
Who was the best
And,
one?
I interviewed the Ramones. I interviewed Kurt Vile. I interviewed
Kurt Vile's
Everything.
dead, isn't he?
No.
Oh, no.
What the composer
Yeah.
is, but
Oh.
not the musician.
Oh, I didn't know there was somebody else with
Yeah,
the same name.
and that's his actual name.
Really?
Wow. Who else? The Pigeon Detectives.
Do you remember them?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was a play. Was it a band?
So,
I thought it was
a
like the
play.
Mousetrap
It was
or
a
something.
play on
I thought it was
Radio
like
1.
one of those Agatha Christie kind of.
what's her name? Madge from Neighbours. Mr. Motivator.
No.
Yeah.
Who's Mr. Motivator?
What?
Sorry.
The lead singer of Supergrass.
No,
Okay.
Mr. Motivator's not the lead singer of Supergrass.
No?
Mr. Motivator's. You've never seen Mr. Motivator?
I don't think so.
He was huge.
When?
You
I'll show
were,
you
you
a
were around
picture.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
So did you never watch morning TV?
Yeah.
He wore like day glow fluorescent clothes.
I think
and he would
this is why
do-
Bilal doesn't know what to do with his career because he didn't
he
see
never
Mr.
saw Mr.
Motivator.
Motivator. Yeah, he unlocked a kind of a latent creativity in me, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that's
man.
where I.
This guy.
Yeah, you'll all know him.
You won't.
Oh, I recognise him.
He would jump up and down and kind of like
What
run
channel
around
was-
and around.
What show was he on?
By the way, guys,
I
it's
think
just a
it's-
Google Pixel 7. By the way.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just
that-
anyone
Screen,
who's
is
interested
the
in what I've
screen
got.
broken?
No, it's a screen protector.
It's a spring
Right.
protector.
You still
He
need to
was
be told
brilliant.
that.
He would just encourage. So he was mostly there for like aerobic stuff. He'd like teach you about aerobics, and he'd go, "Come on, kids, jump up and down" or whatever. But I remember there was an episode once where he taught you about what it meant to be cool,
Oh.
and he tried to do all the cool things. He like put a backwards cap on, and
Yeah.
he got a skateboard, and he listened to cool music or something. But then he went to visit some cool kids, and they all laughed at him and jeered. And then a little boy with a robin on his finger came along. And he was like, I keep trying to do the cool things and everyone keeps laughing at me. And this little boy, very like self-possessed, completely kind of like knew his own destiny, said,
Yeah.
what you've got to do, you can't chase after cool, Mr. Motivator. You have to just do the things you love and cool just comes along. And then he
damn.
Like
went on his way.
wearing a mint green
Exactly.
jacket.
Well, you try
Exactly.
quite hard though. It doesn't come along for you. Does it?
Come along for me.
You didn't do your intro.
Huh?
Do you want to do a little
Oh, yeah,
intro?
sorry, yeah.
No, don't apologise.
Joz Norris, one of comedy's most cutting-edge innovators. He's also a very good improviser and an Edinburgh Festival favourite. I don't know him massively well, and he's grown a beard since I have last seen him.
It's good beard.
But it's good to see him and his beard.
Thanks for having me. Lovely intro.
Not
that was
bad.
nice. You've grown a moustache and long hair.
Yeah, my life's completely changed.
Really?
I mean, we don't know each other that well.
No, we used to do gigs though.
Yeah,
Back in the day, before I had my beard and before you had your hair and
yeah,
moustache.
and then I changed genre. I do, no offense to you two, proper comedy now.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, you two are doing alternative
Yeah,
comedy.
Pratting about.
Yeah.
And you're doing
Dressing up and
Proper stuff.
and I'm
smashing it.
Talking about co-op.
talking about buying coffee,
Yeah.
train tickets.
What do you say about buying coffee? What's your like take?
So they ask you too many questions.
He says
Yeah.
co-op.
A classic thing.
That's true, actually.
He's
That's
got
good.
a line. He's closing. He ends his set on Costa living crisis.
I still haven't put that in actually.
That's my time.
I'll put that in my show tonight.
That's
Guys,
really
you've been
good.
wonderful.
But it's got me to a place where I can command £150 for a 4-hour drive each way.
Whoa,
So, you know,
that's good.
Who's
Just for the
winning really?
driving. You don't even need to do the gig anymore. You just drive there. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Then you drive home.
I mean, technically, if I walked off because the conditions weren't right, I think I'm still legally should get paid.
What's the conditions aren't right?
I walked
Like,
off.
they
I
don't
walked off
like
after
it.
12 minutes once of a 20 because they
Yeah?
just weren't listening. It was a Christmas gig in Hull, right?
Yeah, okay.
And the compere was a local compere. I've never seen him before or since. And he went on, and it was like big long tables, all work parties. Nobody was paying any attention when the gig started, and it was all just like a babble of chatting.
Lovely.
And he tried to quieten them down in the way that you might try and quieten down a baby. And he was just going,
He did that.
no, he didn't. And then he gave up and he went, here's your first act. And I went on,
Oh, wow.
I did like 3 jokes, got nothing, did something else. Someone said, tell a joke. I went, I already told 3 jokes, he wasn't listening. So I said, I'm going to start again from the beginning. And then I did about another 3 minutes. I went, this is pointless. And I just walked off.
Wow.
And then they had everybody's pictures up backstage. And I sent a friend the next week who was playing there to take my picture down because I didn't want anything from me left in that venue.
Yeah.
Still got paid.
Nice.
No
Congrats.
complaints from
They
the
didn't even
booker?
notice, did they?
Didn't even know.
They probably loved it. It's probably exactly
Yeah,
what
I
they
don't do
wanted.
Christmas. I try not to do many Christmas gigs anymore.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
You do now. You've got a wife who celebrates Christmas.
Oh, yeah, now I have to celebrate
Yeah,
Christmas.
but maybe
That's
you need to
different.
do a Christmas gig for
Because
her.
of my wife. What, in the living
Like a
room?
Christmas special.
Christmas special?
Yeah,
For her family?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's part of celebrating Christmas.
Is it
that
not?
You've got to go to a Christmas gig. I've never been to a Christmas gig.
Is that not
And
tradition?
now I feel like I'm missing
Yeah, but
out
I feel
on
like
a
you
key
must have
part
done
of the-
some Christmas specials.
I've done,
Weirdos, etc.
Weirdos Christmas specials,
Ah.
and that's sort of a different thing, really.
Yeah, because the
They're-
audience are not work dues.
Yeah,
Usually.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So explain people that aren't in the industry.
Weirdos is a sort of a collective of comedians, and they used to do an annual Christmas pantomime. The first thing they did was we did a word for word verbatim live version of the Steven Spielberg film Hook, which is about 2.5 hours long, and we added stuff to it.
Oh.
So it was about 3 and a bit hours. And all we did was we just did the play. And I think in hindsight, probably there's a lot of things we should have done differently to that. But I think it was a weird enough thing to do that people were like, hey, this is interesting. You guys should keep doing this. So then Adam Larter started writing shows every year. So every year there'd be another 3-hour kind of sprawling epic about something. And for a while we put it on in the basement of an abandoned restaurant where it was the restaurant where Margaret Thatcher invented Mr. Whippy ice cream. And it's now disused. It's fallen into disrepair. It's underneath. Do you not know that?
No, you
Margaret
dropped a bit
Thatcher
of a
invented.
bombshell.
No,
Margaret Thatcher
I
invented
knew
Mr.
that.
Whippy.
Did you? Yeah.
She invented Mr. Whippy
She did do some
in this
good.
bunker
What do you mean?
under the Bank of England. There's a bunker.
Yeah.
It used to be like a gentleman's club. It's called Throgmorton's, and
What's going
it's
on?
now fallen apart. It looks like it's like a horror film in there. You go down this big gold spiral
Can you
staircase.
still get down there?
It's now shut. We had to. We had 2 lovely Christmases in there where we put
So you
on first a show about a mermaid
You
trying
snuck
to.
into an abandoned building and done a show.
I think we were allowed.
Right.
I think somebody did a deal with whoever owns the lease. I hope so, because people came in.
Yeah.
I really hope that was
Throg.
I
What's
really
it
hope
called?
Throgmorton's.
That's a good name.
It's
You're having the time of your life
cavernous.
finding out
It
all
goes
this,
on
aren't you?
forever. It goes on absolutely forever. There's these kind of like horrible galleries that just keep going and going. Have you ever read House of Leaves?
No.
It's like a
We don't
horror
read, but
novel
we don't
about like
read.
an infinite house.
We make podcasts. We don't read.
Yeah.
You don't need to read. It's very long.
We get our own info from
Yeah.
from Joe Rogan.
So we did that.
Yeah.
And then we got kicked out, and I think now they're trying to sell it, turn it into a swimming pool or something like that.
Mm.
So I've done those.
You gonna burn it down?
I've done the kind of Christmas show where you take over an abandoned restaurant underneath the Bank of England and then
Bloody
pretend
hell.
to be a mermaid.
I'm going to take you
but
to
I think that's
task on this.
non-traditional.
Why was there no storyline about Mr. Whippy if you were in the home of Mr. Whippy? Or you're not allowed to talk about that?
Seems like
Seems
a missed
yeah.
opportunity. There was like an advertising theme to that one. That one was about a mermaid who goes to the... Oh, what was it about? She goes to the surface world to protest against a John Lewis ad because there's a John Lewis ad that is exploiting the ocean. So she goes to get the ad cancelled. So I guess there was a kind of consumerist message, but that's not really got anything to do with Mr. Whippy. You're right. It was a missed opportunity.
I've just had a
Throgmorton's.
brilliant idea that
Yeah.
means that I may not be here next week.
Oh.
Why don't you know? Like you get Mr. Frosty.
Yeah.
Why?
Wait,
is
what?
It,
No.
you know,
What's
Mr.
Mr.
Frosty.
You
make it
that
at
makes-
home?
Yeah,
It's
it
a
makes
snowman?
the ice snow cone machine
Whoa.
thing. You can get it in.
You can make
Argos.
ice cream.
Argos?
But I'm saying,
No, it's
why
like,
is there no little mini Mr. Whippy machine so you can have your own Mr. Whippy at home?
What is Mr. Whippy
You know
like?
the soft serve. You know the.
I was about to ask, I don't think I know what it
Is it like-
Is it a brand?
I'm
Mr.
imagining...
Whippy is no. You know when you go to ice cream van.
yeah. It's
that one.
And is it all... Any one of those is Mr. Whippy?
Yeah.
Or Mr. Whippy is like one specific brand of
It's
those
like
and now there's
Tannoy.
loads of them?
And you're
Right.
telling me...
It's the
You're
one
not
that
allowed
is
to-
this synonymous with the thing so much so that people call it that rather
Yeah,
than
like Hoover.
yeah.
So we don't know if we've ever had a Mr.
Okay,
Whippy.
I'm gonna
We
do
might
some
have had-
research.
Yeah,
And you're
That's what
saying
this is
Margaret
for.
Thatcher
Laptop-y.
invented...
yeah, that seems odd now, doesn't
I
it?
feel like
No,
that's
she
some
definitely did. I read
revisionism
that.
to get us on side.
I've never questioned any of that. I'm quite bad at just absorbing what I'm told, whether it's like an opinion or a fact
Are you
or
saying
whatever.
you're,
Sure.
or are you saying you're? Because I'm like, are you saying
I'm
you're
quite
gullible?
Yeah, I'm quite gullible and
Yeah.
probably quite manipulable.
Ah,
But I think I've heard more than one person say Margaret Thatcher invented Mr. Whippy. And when we were in this abandoned restaurant, somebody said she did it here. She did it right there. And they pointed. There's like a
Okay.
metal bit in the corner where you could see that maybe there could once have been a
see the
freezer.
ghost of Thatcher.
Yeah, hovering around.
Okay, Mr. Whippy is a brand of soft mix ice cream produced by Wars.
Ah,
But I'm
was it
gonna get
invented by
further
Margaret
on.
Thatcher?
I
don't understand why she would have done that.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think it was before everything else. I don't think it was like a side hustle. I think when she was Prime Minister, she was just Prime Minister.
Wait, for our American cousins watching and listening, it's
Oh,
called
yeah.
soft serve.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell them who Margaret Thatcher was.
Mm.
They probably know. Do Americans know?
No.
Feel free to chat whilst I look up.
Thank you for doing this.
No, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Is that how you're going to
It's
feel?
it's been wonderful so far.
Yeah.
I haven't had-
It's nice to revisit this stuff. Not thought about it.
I
in a
haven't
while.
had a lot of sleep in the last
Right.
few weeks. I
How
think.
come? What you been doing?
I don't know. I've been
Staying up late.
exhausted. Staying up late, definitely.
This
But
is
I've
going
been
around. People keep saying this. People keep
Tired?
yeah, I'm very tired.
It's
very
the
tired.
new pandemic.
It's the
There's COVID around
He
again.
calls it the plandemic.
Really? Because you think it was all
Okay.
planned.
He does.
Whoa.
Okay.
of
Margaret
worms.
Thatcher helped invent soft serve ice cream. So not
helped.
Mr. Whippy, the whole concept. So it is, yeah.
Whoa.
Helped.
Before entering politics, Thatcher was an Oxford-trained chemist and in the 1950s worked in a lab where soft serve ice cream was perfected. There is no actual concrete evidence that she actually assisted in the creation of the invention, but there are enough rumours to suggest that we should still thank her for her service to the ice cream industry.
Who wrote that?
That's the insurance company who insure Mr. Whippy.
There's no evidence, but we should all
appreciate
and thank Mrs.
everything
Thatcher.
she did.
And then there's a picture of quite a graphic picture of Margaret Thatcher licking a Mr. Whippy going,
Really?
No.
Oh. It says she invented it in a lab, not in an underground restaurant. So I might be talking shit.
Why would it be in there?
I don't know. Again, I didn't question it. I was
Are we
quite
just gonna
excited. I was
change the
quite
name of this
young.
Podcast, the Mythbusters. What's it called?
Mythbusters.
Throgmorton's.
Throgmorton's. It's a
Throgmorton's.
restaurant
With a T or an F?
T-H.
Throg.
Yeah, Throg.
Throg would be a good stage name for you.
Frog white and wearing
With your
green.
green
I
jacket.
look a bit like a toad.
Your next act, it's Throg.
Throg. Would you have a surname or would you just be one of those like
Just Throg.
single name?
He comes up and goes,
At one
all
point,
right.
I nearly changed my stage name to Joey Page, but I was going to spell it like Bowie. J-O-W-I-E.
But then you'd run into all the set people would be saying Jowie.
Where was it? Yeah, I know. Where was it?
So it's under the Bank of
Jowie
England, I
Page.
think. Jowie Page.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they existed for a while, those Christmas shows. I think we've not done
Oh,
one
yes.
since before the pandemic. But that's not a normal Christmas gig. I've never done a normal Christmas gig. They look
Oh, they're
horrible.
just. So I've done a bunch of them, and it's just like Joey was saying, it's just people not listening.
Yeah,
That's it. And then you might win them over with a thing, and then they'll go again.
right.
They're just all too drunk and talking to each other. And it kind of is what it is, you know?
Take the money and run.
Yeah, run out of there.
I've done a
Okay.
corporate on Zoom.
That counts.
Yeah, horrid.
For
Had a horrid
on
time.
Christmas.
No, not for Christmas. It was like a summer work do thing. It was during the pandemic, and he wanted to put on some entertainment for all his workers who were working from home.
Good money.
It was all right.
Yeah,
It was
that's
all
Good
right.
money. I'm not asking him how much.
It wasn't good enough for how
It's a
unpleasant it was.
Okay.
Because, Zoom comedy is quite hard anyway.
Oh,
And when
it's
you're doing
bad.
it to a bunch of people
Bleak.
that are just sat at home.
Yeah, but how I used to mitigate against that was I would always just be in my pants, bottom half, and they wouldn't know that, but I was like, I haven't even moved out my chair. Just sat in my pants.
You could be
so-
naked.
Would you have
bottom
that as
half.
like an emergency punchline that at any point you could stand up and then they could laugh at your pants? Because pants
yeah,
are
but
sort
is
of
that
funny.
is that
I think that's not
asking
allowed,
for
mate.
trouble?
Yeah, probably.
Indecently exposing
Oh, yeah.
my boxer short cloth.
My most viewed clip on Twitch is when I was doing a stream as the football manager thing,
Yeah.
and someone knocked on my door because it was really late and it was a cup final and I was being loud, and I was wearing
Knocked on your
just
front door?
boxers. I was wearing a suit and just
On
boxers.
your front door.
No, on my bedroom door. I was in a shared house. I stood up to get the door, muted it, and I was just wearing boxers with my suit, and it got clipped. And it's the most viewed clip.
How does that make you feel when that's like the best thing you've ever done?
Yeah, all the stuff you
Pretty
planned.
good. They were red boxers.
Oh, nice.
So it's pretty. Imagine it was naked though.
I don't think your channel would just be taken down, wouldn't it? That would be it.
Is it? But if
That'd be the end.
Even if it's flaccid.
Why wouldn't it be flaccid?
Even if, because we were winning.
Do you get excited when you broadcast live?
Yeah. Are you not right now?
No.
So the weirdos thing,
Yeah.
Adam Larter.
Yeah.
How
Not
have
Adam
you?
Latte.
Not Latte.
No, different guy.
Have you worked with him for a long time?
Yeah, we first did it. So the Hook show was 2012. So that's 11.
That's a long
11
time.
years, long time.
And me and you did a gig
We did
together.
one of his shows,
that was his
an
thing.
advertising show.
Advertising show where
lot of
I
fun.
got to be like a coked up advertising executive guy.
Yeah,
And you were the intern.
I was the intern.
And so you were my lectern.
You
where
used me as a lectern.
got on your
That was
hands
fun.
and
A lot
knees,
of fun.
and I put my notes on your back.
Yeah.
I
I-
never do stuff like that.
I have a lovely time doing stuff
This
like that.
guy, He's always doing mad stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I did one Weirdos gig once.
Which one were you? Were you in Hook? No.
It was at Bill Murray. But
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it because I can't improvise.
Yeah. I'm terrible at like any kind of like actual like whenever I work with proper improvisers, like you know people like the Free Association and that like, who actually know the rules of improv.
Yeah.
And, like you're supposed to be generous and not hog the stage. Like I'm terrible at that because I just have bad instincts and I kind of jump on stuff too much. But whenever it's one of those things where it's just like we're going to make a chaos show, those are fun. I like those.
Oh, you're good at it.
But
You're really
I think
good at it. But you do it a lot because for me, like what I mean is that's a big deal for me to do anything that's not stand up on stage.
You were great at it. You were really good at that
thank you.
gig.
That was one of my favourite things I've ever done, probably.
But you sort of do that a lot on your Twitch as well, right? Like your Twitch is quite interactive and like.
But a live audience is totally different.
Are you still doing that?
Twitch, a little bit.
Okay. So what are you up to currently?
What am I up to currently?
What's going on?
Got anything to promote? It's not ending, by the way.
That's it. Plug. Nothing to promote. I'm writing a lot. I'm writing some scripts.
Oh,
trying to
lovely.
make some films. See if they go anywhere. It means you do a lot of waiting.
Shorts.
It means, yeah, little short films. Pitching some scripts about. I think I did Edinburgh last year and then felt very tired and thought I'll have a rest for a bit, do something a bit different. So I've made a couple of short films. They might be ready soon. As and when they're ready, I'll come back on and then plug them. At the moment, I have nothing to share.
we could be nice and plug them without you having to come in.
You're right. I could just send you a link and you can read out the full link.
I wouldn't do that
on...
for this guy.
No. Okay.
What do you plan to do with those films? Are they going to go straight to like YouTube or do you?
I think I'll try and do. I mean, it sort of depends on. I'll watch it and decide if it's good enough. And then if it's good, maybe I'll do the film festival thing.
Yes.
But I think that costs quite a lot of money. So if I watch it and I go, this is actually just fine, I won't waste £300.
That's fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice to be part
You've
of that.
been to many film festivals.
I've been to a handful. And then I had some films that sort of went to some, and then I went to them and found them quite stressful. Some of them are really fun. Some of them I think are run by charlatans. I think you never really know. Or I don't know.
I was once really hungover at a festival and laid down in a tent and watched The Labyrinth. Does that count?
Yeah,
that's not
so.
a film festival.
Oh, that's a film at a festival.
Yeah, I've been to film festivals.
I've been to film festival.
Yeah, that counts.
I barely watch films.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, I was watching last night, but I fell asleep halfway through, so I was knackered. But it was
yeah.
really good. And I can't wait to finish it. The King of Comedy with Robert De Niro.
Oh,
Is that good? I've
you've
never
not
seen
seen
that.
it?
No. I really want to watch it.
I'm about
Watch it
halfway
tonight.
through.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, I won't spoil anything.
What's it on?
Watch it
Where can you
tonight.
get it?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, it's
You
on
can
Prime.
rent it.
Oh, great.
No,
You got
can
Prime?
rent it from
Yeah,
Prime.
yeah, I've
You
got
can
Prime.
You can rent it from Prime.
Cool.
Do
I'll
you have
that.
Mubi?
I think
What's
I've got a
Mubi?
login for
Mubi
Mubi.
is like a fancy film place for
Yeah.
cool.
Oh,
Is it on
that's
there?
where I had to sign up for a free trial of Mubi to get it.
You got it on, so you don't
But
have.
then I'm gonna.
I think I've got a login
Mubi,
for
I'm gonna
Mubi.
cancel
I
you
don't
as soon as
pay
I
for
finish the
Mubi,
film
but
tonight.
I know someone who does. I probably shouldn't.
That's
say
illegal. That's
Is
really
it?
bad.
That's illegal. Get
really
out.
Bad.
Is password sharing not okay?
That you're out of order.
I thought you were allowed on like three different things.
Can I
or
say
something.
I
something?
shouldn't have
I take
got you on
I take
here.
it back. I'm really sorry.
We won't edit that out.
Mubi.
Can I say something?
King
However,
of
what
comedy.
isn't illegal is to share this episode of this podcast with a friend or work colleague or serviceman
Nice. Serviceman.
or woman or person
Or woman.
or person. Not everyone in the services. is-
Share it with
Sure, with a friend or woman.
And when I say serviceman, I mean somebody who works in one of our motorway services.
That's very good of you, man.
You know,
Thank you for doing
the
that.
WH Smith set of services, or in the Greg set of services, or in the petrol garage set of services.
I love this episode, man.
Yeah,
This has been really good.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Should we get into some problems?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I've been doing a lot of travelling, right?
Okay.
Not in a good way.
Right. Driving.
And
The driving
Right.
that you mentioned.
well, yeah, but I also had to go to Edinburgh
Oh, yeah.
on last Monday, right? And I've still not really recovered from this, right? Let me tell you what happened. So, and my problem is it's kind of like more of a misadventure than a problem. But
Right.
I'd just like to see if anyone would have handled this any better than me, because I ended up swearing at 2 different bus drivers and resulted in me not getting on at least one of the buses. So what happened was, right, I was flying to Edinburgh.
Flying.
Did some work, yeah.
Right.
I don't
Cool.
give a fuck about carbon footprint. Sorry, everyone.
Oh.
It's not up to me to save the world. I'm sorry.
No,
All
it's
right,
fair
cool.
enough.
Anyway, so I thought I'll get to the airport early because I had some work to do.
Yeah.
Right, that was a big mistake because there's actually nowhere to sit in the. I thought I was sitting in the Pret and do some work. There's nowhere to sit. There's no
It's
plug
quite
sockets.
small, isn't it?
I'm at the age where, my laptop's
Edinburgh
at the
Airport?
age where. No, I haven't even got to Edinburgh yet.
Oh.
Which airport's this?
Heathrow. It's not a
Heathrow.
good start. If you
Right.
live in East London, you don't want to be going to Heathrow.
Yeah.
Very far.
There's places to sit in Heathrow. There's like there's a chair.
Yeah, but you want like a little desk or something.
Oh yeah.
And then my laptop is old enough that I really envy people that can sit anywhere in a coffee shop and not need a plug socket immediately. My laptop is on life support, right? So
No.
I'm already trying to do that. And I was like, oh, I'm going to almost treat it because I didn't really want to go and do this job. And it was a long way for what it was. And I was like, right, I'm going to treat myself. I'll go to Wagamama's for dinner, get myself a little noodle soup. I'm going to have a nice time. But then what I didn't account for was that my flight could be delayed. So I got to the airport early.
Yeah.
I was then in the airport for 7 hours because my flight was delayed before I'd even got on the plane, right? Then I got to Edinburgh. It was late, right? There were no cabs because everyone was trying to get cabs. I thought I'd get the airport bus to near the hotel that I'm staying at. Got on the airport bus. I pressed for my stop. He didn't stop at the stop, right? The next stop was 6 miles down the motorway, right? So I've sworn at him as I've got off the bus.
What was the swear word?
I called him a prick. It's not the worst, is it? But I was like,
It's quite a nice
was like-
word.
Yeah,
He was like-
yeah. Could have been worse.
I think I swore, but not. I think I said like I pressed the fucking bell and you didn't stop. He said you didn't press it in time. I was like, fuck off, you prick, something like that. Anyway,
I think as long as there was an explanation. I think if you just came out with prick, he'd be like, whoa. But as long as he provided a kind of like a logical, here's
and then
why.
he sort of cheerily said there'll be another bus going back the other way in about 15 minutes. I was like, you
Right.
fucking wanker. I waited. I tried to get an Uber. No Ubers are going to stop in the middle of a fucking like barren bit of land by the motorway.
Yeah.
But eventually I got one. Got to the hotel. It's now 2 a.m. I've got to be up at 8 a.m. for this thing, right? And there's 3 people queuing at the hotel to check in. Then the next morning, I was like, right, that bus that I was supposed to get, one more stop back to the thing, right? It's easy. Tried to get the bus. I put my hand out, and then he wasn't going to stop. And then at the last minute, he like put his grapes on. He put his grapes on. He put his brakes on. And then he was like, why didn't you signal for the bus? I went, why did you think I had my hand out, you fucking dickhead? And then I flipped him off, and then he drove off, and then I was late for the thing I had to be at. I was in
He
such
drove
a
off.
bad
He
mood.
wouldn't let you on.
No, I just went, oh, fuck off then. Like he just went, and so then I had to get another cab.
It's hard if you don't drive. I don't drive. It's hard.
I'm not driving all the way
travelling.
to Edinburgh.
No, I know, but this is what it's like for me all the time.
No.
It's
What,
a
you
nightmare.
swear
I
at
just
bus
want to
drivers
swear at
and
bus
they don't
drivers
let you
every
on?
day.
You seem like you're on a pretty even keel, Joz. I wonder how you would have handled that.
I think I would. I'd feel all the same rage. I think, but I think I go inward quite a lot. I think I'd kind of like mutter. I think
You'd say,
I'd try my
"I'm
very,
the
very
prick."
hard. Yeah. I'd try really hard to kind of be polite and to smile and to be like, oh, thank you. And then as soon as I got off the bus, I think something else is getting it, like the nearest bush or the nearest tree. I'm going
you
to
just
kick
like
it.
smash a bush up.
Maybe I'd
I'd like to see you doing that. That's a short film in
I
itself.
don't normally lose it,
Yeah.
but I think what's the angriest I've ever got with someone? I feel like I have. Oh no, it's when I'm living with people. Then I let that bottle up. It's happened
Bottle up,
twice that I then lose it when I move out from a place, and then I'm quite
Oh,
rude.
like did you write him a big long note?
No, I just sort of shouted and like stole a Hoover and stuff like
Oh.
that. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Bad people to live with.
Yeah, he was terrible. He was a terrible housemate.
Right.
But I wasn't very gracious about it. And also, I once quit a job. I'd got very fed up with the job, and then it had kind of built and simmered. And I was like, I'll just quit and leave with dignity because there's no point. Like, there's no point like venting too much. And then it was a magic cafe was where I worked, and I had to do magic for children at the back of this cafe. And my boss got a magic trick wrong, so that a sharp metal spike was fired into my eye at like
What?
point blank range, and then I just lost it. I told them exactly what I thought of them, but then I
In
forgot.
front of
my
Well,
kids.
you
no,
were,
I got through the show.
you were murdered.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, she tried to kill
What
me.
happened to your eye?
My eye, it just like had, when there's like blood in your eye, like it doesn't come out,
no,
but
I
your
don't know
eye
what
It
that's
goes
like. I'm
red.
Yeah,
sorry.
like it goes red, like the white bit
It
goes
seems
red.
like the sort of thing that would have happened to you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that's like.
You've never had your eye go red?
No.
I've never had
Oh,
it.
you got to try it.
Ooh.
But that happened, and I finished the show. The kids hated it because they were like, "Why is his eye red? This is scary."
Yeah.
So I did that, And then afterwards got out and she went, "Oh, sorry about the thing." And then I lost it. I went, "That's not okay. You can't do that." Then sent them a long email when I got home because I had more to get out. So I sent an email being like, "This place is so unsafe. I'll never work there again." They already knew that. I'd already quit by this point. But then I forgot that I had one more shift. So I had to go back in and do a final shift after I'd vented all this stuff.
What about public liability insurance? Do you get the £5 million?
I forgot to sue.
You forgot to
I
say.
probably should have
Public
sued.
liability
You
insurance,
wouldn't
which,
have been sat here if you
just for the listeners and viewers, we have to have public liability insurance and it covers you up to £5 million, but I don't know what that means.
Really? You've
Yeah.
got it now?
Wait.
Yeah.
So
Can
if one of
take it
you
out
shot
against
me in the
yourself?
eye...
We could get £5 million and split it.
I have no idea. I still don't understand what it means. I'm a bit thick, though, with anything.
Well,
It's
hang
like
on.
if somebody...
So, if
Yep.
we create a dangerous environment
Yeah.
and one of us
Yeah.
gets like smashed with a camera and then we just all split the money, it's like we got Yanis and Kate as one each.
1 million each.
Yeah.
But doesn't that...
We're all in on it. I mean, we can't put this episode out.
But we have to
yeah, this has to be...
we have to all get hurt.
clear,
though.
wipe the tape. No, only one of us. And then the
If
person
there's a
that claims-
pre-arranged agreement
we'll
that you all
split.
I don't
share
trust you, though. I don't think you're not going to share it.
I think the person who gets hurt should get more
I'll
personally.
take the hit.
Okay.
So you should get like...
I don't want him getting more.
You... Right. Okay.
No.
What would you do with your million? I'm
go-
wasting it so hard.
Yeah. What would you do? I'd get a very big.
I'm
TV.
leaving. I'm leaving England
Okay.
via a speedboat straight up the Thames.
Speedboat.
Like now, just be like, right, see ya. We're off.
Do you know where you're going?
Get a couple of pineapples and a bottle of rum, and we're off. And I don't know where we're going.
Go Tesco, a couple of pineapples, speedboat.
That's £1 million.
That's the start.
Yeah.
You seem.
Other things you can do in international waters.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead, but I'm like,
Because you seem quite nice and not that angry. You know what would be good? You know the Prodigy video to Smack My Bitch Up? Do you remember?
no, I remember the one. What's the one in the
I
tunnel?
know the song.
Do you not
He's
see the video?
furious on that. I've not seen the
Where
video.
someone is going around causing chaos all night, and then at the
Oh.
end they look in the mirror and it's a woman, and that's the twist.
Whoa.
That's literally it. That's the video.
Wow.
I was going to say if it was you in the mirror, that would be a nice twist because
Yeah,
you're
that's
not like
quite
that.
good.
But you guys haven't seen it, so there's no point.
I'll watch
The
it,
listeners
though.
would have.
I'll watch it and edit
It's
it.
a classic video, but now it's like dumb.
What's she doing? What kind of chaos?
Fighting people,
Right. Whoa.
you know.
But it's a woman.
But it's a woman. That's the
That's
twist.
fine. But
Yeah.
that's fine.
Exactly. But that's fine.
That's cool.
Might.
That's
Well,
cool.
no, at
to
the
watch.
time it wasn't
No, that's
fine. It was
cool.
like,
People
wait,
went,
what? A woman? That's basically what it is.
How would you have dealt with the? How would you have
Sorry.
dealt with the bus? Would you have sworn?
No.
You wouldn't have. You'd have internalized.
Yeah. I would have done what you did. Set a bush on fire and got in it.
I
Is
think
that what you
that's-
said?
Yeah. I don't think I set it on fire, but now you've said it.
And
That's
get in the
exactly what.
middle
That's
of it.
exactly what I
So
do.
speaking of like in performance injuries, right?
Yeah.
So my ex and their best friend, they did a wrestling show,
Right.
At they learnt to wrestle.
Oh,
and they
the
did-
wrestling.
No, they learnt to wrestle and they did a show.
But was
at
it
the Edinburgh
the
Festival. It
that
wasn't
big
that.
wrestling
No,
show?
no,
A
no.
different wrestling
Different
show.
wrestling show. And they took it to Australia, and I was like the commentator in the show for them. And in the first minute, Joey gets her head smashed into like the top turnbuckle.
Not him.
Not me.
What's a
I'm-
turnbuckle?
Like it's the corner
Lovely
post
word.
thing, right?
Right.
And
I'm going to use that now. I know that.
she brought her head up, and there's like blood everywhere. And I was like, oh, they've done fake blood, which is quite cool because there's only 6 people in the audience. So they've really gone for it. It turns out she'd broken her nose in the
Oh.
first minute of the show, of an hour-long show. She was like 3 wrestling matches long
Wow.
because they wrestled in each match as different characters. And then like the 2 days afterwards, like had like 2 black eyes from like the broken nose, but carried on, did like the whole run of the show. But me and Joey went to the supermarkets in Australia, and I was like, Joey, it looks like, I've beaten you up like you're a battered wife or something, right? So we was walking around, and I was going, what did I tell you about putting that in the trolley? I was just shouting. I hope the people thought that I'd bashed her up for a laugh.
Do people
I'm
find it funny?
so sorry
people,
about this.
people laughing?
We were. We were only going to
Yeah, that's what matters.
It's not usually like this.
No.
You say that every week.
Yeah. Well, that's a lovely story.
Have you had
Public
any
liability insurance?
Well, Joey could have sued. It was Joey's own fault, so
Yeah. So what happens?
because you're supposed to cover like that bit and then hit that into the corner.
Okay.
But she put her hands too high and smashed her nose. So it's her own.
Oh.
Well, and that's like part of the insurance is you sign anything that says I promise to put my hands in front of my
Yeah, in
nose.
front of my nose.
Can you look up how does public liability?
No, I'm
insurance
not doing
work?
that on the podcast.
But it's good. We can. Get
I
that.
did a
Okay.
show. We did. There was a weirdo show. Another weirdo show. It
Yeah.
was on an ice rink, and I don't
Oh,
really
yeah.
understand how the insurance situation worked on that. Because at one point I tried to do a pirouette and then flew up into the air and landed on my head, but Tony Law had written the show and said that I was playing a sort of a half moose, half human hybrid. So I had this huge padded moose head on, and if I hadn't had that, I think I would have just died.
Yeah.
And I don't know what would have happened in that instance. I guess I'm dead, so there's nobody to sue on behalf of me. It probably would have just been kind of
Be a
hand
very
waved
a-
aside as like, oh, never mind, that was a shame.
Be a very angry ghost.
Yeah, I'd have hung around, made people feel bad about it.
Public liability protection covers injuries and damage claims brought against your business by a third party, whether caused at your own workplace,
It's
a
against
customer's
us.
workplace, or elsewhere. So if I tried to sue you, the insurance company would cover it, right?
If I'm the performer.
No, if you're the... If
I'm
I've
the
come into your
audience member.
podcast place of business now,
Yeah.
and I drink this,
And smash
and
it
it
on my
turns
face.
out there's a
Oh.
shard of glass in my... Then I would sue you, but the insurance company would pay out, not
A
you.
shard of glass. I put it in his coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll figure something out.
It's worth a thought.
What's your problem, Bilal?
My problem, Jozziah,
Yeah,
is
Oh, yeah, what is it
it's
short?
Jozziah.
it's short for Jozziah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's on Wikipedia.
Yeah, Jozziah Norris.
Where's that come from then?
It's not short for Jozziah, I lied.
See,
sorry
I'm
about
not
that.
so gullible. I was half gullible.
You
Yeah.
believed
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for a little bit. It's short for Jozziah, which that was the name of like an old... Did you ever read the
Bibleman.
Gumdrop book? He is in the Bible.
Bibleman.
But I think I was named after Josiah Oldcastle, who was an old Edwardian gentleman in a series of children's books about a kind of... It was like Herbie, but before Herbie.
Herbie Fully
But what was he
Loaded.
riding? A castle?
No, his name was Oldcastle.
Oh, right, yeah.
He had a car called Gumdrop that was like an old vintage car, and he would drive around in it, and the car, I think, would come alive and scare pirates and stuff.
When it did
Pirates?
Yeah, I think he met pirates.
Was there pirates around with cars?
No, he's in the car. I can't remember if he travels through
In
time.
kids' books, anything can happen.
Ah.
Yeah. He drives around. He's driving around the countryside
Like if
in his
this
old
podcast
car.
was a kids' podcast, a pirate would turn up now. But
We'd all be dressed as him just
Yeah,
for
we
no
could-
reason.
it'd be pirates in the time of podcasts for the sake of entertainment.
That was how I was dressed when they shot the thing in my eye. I was dressed as a pirate. It was all pirates at that place.
Ooh.
Kids love that.
What's the weirdest thing you've dressed up as for work?
A banana. I had to dress up as a banana to promote a gym.
Can you beat that?
Vicar.
Oh yeah. Was that for
A
the?
sitcom.
Oh, nice.
It's not out yet.
Me and Luke McQueen
Yeah.
and our dear friend Richard Brophy from Australia
Oh, yeah.
used to quite regularly dress up, and Pat Bircher, as inside the giant tooth and give out flyers for a dentist.
Oh, my God.
Inside a giant tooth.
Yeah, so your arms and your legs are out, but you're
I see.
You're a giant
You're
tooth.
inside. I thought you were dressing up as the inside of a giant tooth.
no,
so you were
at-
like the enamel.
At Balham Station.
God. Hey, I was on Channel 5's Best British Adverts, but
Oh,
no
yeah.
one really watched it because everyone was watching Dispatches on Channel 4. So anyway, my
What were you saying? What's your favourite advert?
I like
Do you want to
Guinness.
comment on that to go
Quick Fit.
viral?
Yeah,
Dispatches?
there's a lot of good Dispatches.
Don't laugh,
Not
it's very
really.
serious.
No. Did you watch it?
It's very serious. No, I didn't watch it. I was gigging. I was working like a proper comedian.
I was at a show and I got home and watched it like it was Match of the Day.
I didn't watch Dispatches because I was at Russell Brand's gig giving him a standing ovation. No, I wasn't.
No.
I was not. Who's
Yeah,
giving
no,
him a
that
standing
happened.
ovation?
You know, he went on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say anything libelous because
I think Laughing Around PLC, the podcast company, may
Yeah?
have just found a way to clip that at just the right point, which means we don't get to do this podcast anymore.
So my problem
Yeah, your problem.
is Joey Page. It's
Somebody else will be sat in this chair next week.
yeah. We won't even mention.
I was over here.
Mine is that I don't know what to do creatively with my life at the moment. I don't really know where to go. I feel like I'm good at a lot of stuff, but I don't actually. Like, I want to write and direct a feature film at some point, but it's like I can't do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
You could. It would be very bad if you did it tomorrow.
A whole feature film?
Yeah, if you did it all tomorrow, it would be
an hour and a half.
It would be really bad.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe. That was...
You know,
I shouldn't have
Woody
talked you
Harrelson
down
did
so
that.
much.
He did that one where they did it all live.
What, an entire feature film?
Yes.
What, they broadcast it live?
They streamed it in cinemas, but they did it all. You know, like when they do the EastEnders
Oh,
Christmas
yeah,
episode?
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's not very good, but I do want to watch it. It's all
He's
set in
mad.
London, I think. He's mad.
Yeah, Harrelson.
Why is he mad? What's he done?
He's like big, like hugely into like weed, like it's become his way of life. And a vegan, and he lives in a van.
That all sounds fine,
It's all
doesn't it?
self-sustainable. No, but I'm just saying
He's mad.
Well, not mad. He's got an very alternative lifestyle.
What kind of van? How big's the van?
I think
camp-
it's one of those.
camper
What
van?
they called them stream. What they called Airstream.
That's what you put
No,
in...
that's Soda Stream.
Yeah. Oh.
Soda
yeah,
Stream.
I'm
He
thinking
lives in a
Airstream.
soda
You know,
Lives
when the
inside
big
a
like
Soda
silver
Stream.
buses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not a
From
van.
the
That's like
1950s.
a big old tour bus,
He
isn't it?
lives in that,
Wow.
and it's all
And
self-sustainable.
it's like off-grid.
Yeah, he's off. That's what I was looking for. He's
Off
off
grid.
grid.
Right.
It's pretty cool, though.
I envy people like that. I met someone like that on a big walk a couple of years ago. She
It's
just lived
easy
in
to
a
do if you've
swamp
got the
with
money,
a
though,
with a
hey?
A
pig.
swamp.
Yeah, she lived in a swamp. I was walking through Scotland through a wood, and then there were these signs throughout the wood, and they said like
Warning, pig.
2 miles to go
Yeah.
until delicious cake, and then the next one like 1 mile until beans on toast, and then eventually, I started following the signs, and they led to this bog. There was a sort of a bog with a huge pig in it, biggest pig I've ever seen, bigger than this table, and the pig just kind of like. It didn't show you to your table, but there were tables in the bog. Sorry, this isn't making any sense. There's tables dotted around the bog, and the pig kind of there's a pig and a rooster, and they kind of take you to your table, and then this woman comes out.
And the
gives
rooster
you-
turned into a woman.
The woman lives in a house at the top of the hill. She comes down with her
Terrified of
husband
the pig.
and says, "Oh, sorry about the pig, sorry about the rooster. Do you want cake?" And then she makes you cake and tea, and then she tells you all about how she's off grid and she doesn't need anything from society anymore. She's completely like self-sustaining.
If she
in
doesn't
her
need
swamp.
anything from society, why is she trying to coax you in from 2 miles away?
Well, this is the
Yeah.
thing. She then charged. It was like 30 quid for the cake.
What?
Yeah, and she was like, "You're paying for the experience of like being in my bog."
If you're paying for the experience, you shouldn't start with sorry about the pig, sorry about the rooster.
Maybe
Like,
she
knows
didn't
that
apologise.
shit.
Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe she was like, "Did you enjoy the pig? Did you enjoy the rooster?" It was like a kind of curated.
I
Like
can't believe you followed those signs.
you'd follow the sign.
That's
If you're walking through a wood
exactly-
and there were wooden signs saying only 2 miles until
Only
beans
2
on
miles.
toast.
2 miles is 40 minutes.
That is how Hansel and Gretel got eaten by that witch.
Yeah.
So that's
I
a
was
career option
excited.
for you.
It was like
Do
part
that.
of her story.
Do what?
You could do that.
Yeah, you could go off grid and
Go off grid and
live
get
in
a
a
pig
bog
and a
and
Get a
sell
giant
cake
pig.
for 30 quid a go.
That's £30.
You could probably still stream from there.
Did she have a gun?
She didn't show it to
She
us.
had a
Yeah, there'll
shotgun.
have been a gun somewhere. And her house was built out of the remains of an old school. They'd torn down
Torn down a skull.
They'd torn down a school and then rebuilt it into a house.
Hmm.
I don't know why they didn't just move into the...
And could you hear the
School.
ghosts of the children screaming?
We weren't allowed to go up to the house. There was a huge
No.
fence. Like when we came to pay, they were like, "Come up," because I had card. And she went, "Oh, if you want card, you have to come up to the
Oh,
building."
she had a card
Perimeter.
reader.
She had a
Come
card
up-
reader,
come up to
but
the
you had to
perimeter.
go to the perimeter, and she would pass it to me through the fence, or like I had to put my card through the gap in the fence and tap it to pay for the cake. And then she went, "Right, good." And then she told me a bit more about living off grid.
I think
They didn't
she,
seem very off grid. Was the
Nobody,
thing.
No.
nobody living off grid looks like they're having a good time living off grid. I watched an episode of, oh, you watched it with me, Homestead Rescue, where he built a home out of tyres, and then there was all snakes living in the tyres.
Yeah. They had a real snake problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? They were just in his walls.
Yeah, because
Shit, that's the
have you not
last
seen
place you
Homestead
wanna-
Rescue?
No, I've not heard of
Basically,
it.
it's this family. They go and rescue people that have tried to live off grid and fucked it up. Now, like all their family is
really
sick,
good.
or like it's flooded, or it's about
Or
to
it's
get
full of snakes.
yeah, full of snakes and rubbish.
Wow.
Anyway,
They had a compost toilet, and then they put a full length mirror right in front of it, so you could see yourself sitting on a compost toilet. So that was sort of part of the experience as well. Of like,
why do you want to see
this is
yourself sitting
you.
on the toilet ever?
I don't know. I guess it was like you're not always
Sexy.
sitting on a compost toilet, so you might want to see what that looks like, so
I've
you
been to a
can
festival.
remember it.
Watched a film there.
It was great. I had a lovely time.
Man,
Anyway, that's not really a solution to the
I
problem.
think she took your soul.
Yeah, maybe. Something happened.
Yeah,
I think about it all the time.
I think you should check your bank balance. Sounds like she's striped you up way too much for a bit of cake. Yeah.
That didn't solve my problem.
No.
Have you tried needle felting?
Sorry?
Needle felting?
What's that?
Do you want to
It's-
stay in the entertainment industry?
You get
ideally?
you get a ball
Yeah.
of wool and then you stab it with a needle over and over again until it gets hard, and then you make it into any shape you want. So you can make like
Oh.
a little woodland creature out of wool. And I got quite into that in lockdown, and that was quite a nice.
What do you do with
creative.
them?
Just give them to friends for Christmas and stuff, and be like, "I made you a frog. I made you a bear."
Yeah, I could.
So that's quite fun.
How are your tea towels selling?
You make tea towels.
They actually did okay.
Yeah, maybe sell some more of them.
I did a special with Go Faster Stripe, and
Oh,
they did
nice.
tea towels as merch for £15.
Oh, that's good.
I did all right. I made a bit of money.
What's on the tea
Yeah.
towel? Like the script of the
It's
show.
a little design of me sitting in a mug.
Nice.
Why don't we do it?
Did you do mugs with you sitting on a tea towel, and then they kind of like complement each other?
I think we've found what I need to do with my life.
There you
Breaking news. Me and Bilal are taking the podcast on tour. I'm going to do my show, then we're going to have a break, then we're going to do the podcast, then you're going to do your show. That's how we're going to make all our money.
Is that a good idea?
I
That's
don't
a
know.
long
That's
show.
really long, man.
3
That's
hours.
3 hours.
Ah.
And why do I have to go on when everyone's exhausted?
I'll go on last.
No, 'cause
Headliner.
then you'll call it headline.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
he's done me up. He's done me
Yeah.
right up there.
Warm up from Bilal Zafar,
Warm up.
podcast, and then headliner.
What an awesome night of comedy and talking.
Joz, what's your problem?
Oh, yeah.
My problem is, I think you should make a film. By the way,
Oh yeah,
you wanna
I've
direct a
got an
film.
idea. I've got an idea for a film,
Oh yeah.
but I don't have the. And this is what I wanted to ask you.
oh yeah,
How do you have the patience for writing a film?
yes.
Or was
slow.
your answer
It's
have it
boring.
do a short?
Yeah, you can do it short, and then it's quicker. I get.
How do you come up with an idea?
I've got the idea.
I remember I've got one idea for a feature film that I really want to do, which is about ZZ Top shave their. I can't do it anymore because one of them died. But the idea was ZZ Top shave their beards off because they're sick of the media scrutiny, and they realise that without their beards, nobody knows who they are, and then they
like
go
me and my
they go on the
moustache.
run. Yeah, they just get there's a kind of like rebrand. ZZ Top rebrand themselves as Buddhist monks.
Okay.
You could still do that. I don't think it.
Oh yeah, you
matters
just
one
cast
thing's dead.
actors and you say it's set before one of them
Yeah.
died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't really know what to do with it.
the 3 years where
Right.
they didn't have an album out or something. I don't.
Yeah. The wilderness years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about patience.
With
I think
Jim Carrey being it.
Yeah, surely he'd play Billy Gibbons,
Mhm.
and then I'll play the drummer because it's nice to give yourself a part.
It's nice.
And
yeah.
then
Is that why you're growing the beard now?
drummer doesn't have a beard actually.
Oh,
Have you
so
seen
I-
Tarantino in Django Unchained?
Yeah, he's great.
He does an Australian
It's
accent.
really good. Doesn't he call someone a drongo?
I don't know.
Or have I
man.
misremembered that?
a
He
Django.
blows up, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think he gets blown up
Yeah, I think
by
so.
dynamite.
I didn't like that film. Too long.
It's weird, isn't it? It's like as soon as you put like a revenge thing in a film,
Yeah.
people are gonna instantly like it.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of films where it's just about revenge, and then it tricks people because you set up
Because
the
you
film,
want to see that you want the payoff.
you want the payoff.
So maybe it should be about ZZ Top are forcibly shaved.
Yeah.
Somebody else shaves their beards, and they're like, "That's the whole
Revenge.
thing." And then they set out on the road to get revenge, but also they learn what it's like to not be
to
recognised,
not have a beard.
and they
Yeah.
to be
Cold.
bald. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your problem, Joz?
Yeah, sorry.
My problem, I wanted to come in and get advice on. I feel like I'm becoming prematurely decrepit. Is that how you pronounce it? Decrepit.
Decrepit.
Decrepid.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was a D or a T.
Oh,
But
don't ask me about language.
I'm having to. I've got a bad shoulder now,
Yeah.
and I have to do physio on my shoulder every
Right.
2 days.
How old are you?
I'm 34. So
Way too young.
that's what I think it's too young to be decrepit.
Yeah.
And also, this ear fills up with wax very quickly. So if I go swimming, then I can't hear anyone for like about 3 days afterwards while it sorts itself out. So if anyone's talking, I have to be on this side of them.
Really?
Or if I'm on that side and people say something, then I've got to go, huh? And turn my head like that. And it makes me feel very aged.
If you could do the old earbuds in the ear, which is a great feeling, but you're not meant to do it
Yeah, I
anymore.
love
I
it.
do not advise
love
that. We haven't
that.
got public liability insurance to
Yes,
advise
so
that you
do be
do that at
careful.
home.
No, but it's a great feeling.
It feels great.
You want to book a hotel room and get in there and get a whole pack.
Have you ever had it all sucked out?
No, I've not.
It's fantastic.
I thought they don't do that anymore.
They do. I got it done last year, and I think
On
again.
the
It's,
NHS.
I'm now. No, you've got to do it in. Actually, this is fun. Guess where you got to go to have it done? Guess who it is that does it?
Throgmortonsons.
Very good.
No, I wish I could go back there. It's Specsavers. Specsavers do
Ears
do
now.
ears.
That
Yeah.
isn't, that's not allowed.
They do ears and eyes.
Hey,
That's their-
Specsavers, come back to me when you do noses as well, yeah?
Yeah, I got them.
You do
That would show.
dentistry, yeah? You do hair plugs.
I think it's like, you know how cobblers always do keys. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
opticians also.
But you got
do
to pay for that,
ears.
right?
Yeah, you got to pay. It's like 30 quid.
So what's
and
that
they shove
about?
a Hoover,
Yeah.
or not a Hoover, a vacuum, because
Okay.
Hoover is a brand name. They shove a little
Henry
Mr.
Hoover.
Whippy.
yeah, they
Get
put a
Mr.
Henry
Whippy in
Hoover
there.
in your ear and suck it out.
Mm.
And I think it's a sort of a personality type that does that.
Why?
Because I like when it comes out, then I'm like, oh,
You
cool.
could-
Well, it sounds
You could
nice.
get your little needle and turn it into a Christmas present
Yeah.
for someone.
Why is it building up more in one side? Have you looked up what?
Well,
causes
I think
that?
it's because I used to have a set of headphones where the on button was in here. So I put
think
the
you've been-
headphones in, then I
And you
press
push it into your
that
ear.
button to turn it on, and I don't have those headphones anymore. But I think it caused
Really? How
a
long
ripple
did you
effect.
have
I
that
don't know,
for?
like a year. I had those.
that
Maybe a
can't
year
be
of doing
right.
that every day, pressing, means this side now. I don't know. It's not happy.
Hold on. Is the shoulder on the same side as the bad ear?
Yes.
Do you think it
Oh
could
my
be connected?
god. Maybe.
It could be.
So it's
A
this side
balance
of my
thing?
body is getting old, but this
Isn't-
side of my body is remaining young.
Isn't vertigo something to do with because it's balance? But isn't
Yeah.
it? Is earwax related? I don't know. That could be completely wrong.
Well, there's that labyrinthitis thing as well, which is like in your ear, but also it gives
You watch
you
Labyrinth?
vertigo.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
First of all. I don't know labyrinthitis.
I think it's an illness
I-
where something happens in your ear that means you can't
do you think
balance
it could
and
be
you feel
connected?
sick. I don't know, because this is more like a twinge. I don't know how you could get a twingy
I've
shoulder and a
I've
full
got something,
ear.
I've got a couple of very important things to say about
Okay.
this, Joz.
Yeah.
As an older gentleman.
Yeah, do you
I
have
know I don't look it, but I am older than both of you.
right?
Uh,
But
right.
do you ever notice things? Do
Well,
you go,
here's the
"Oh,
thing.
that shouldn't
I'm
be like
actually out of action at the moment. I have been for 6 weeks because of a foot injury.
Oh,
It's the longest I've ever been out of action.
what does
and I
out of
really hate
action
it.
mean? What
Like, I
month?
can't run, can't play football.
Right.
But
Okay.
and I've always had a bit of a dodgy back,
Right.
right? But it's more of a mindset thing, right? You're at the age now that I was when I started to feel exactly the same as you.
Right. Okay.
And what is actually just happening, and this happened to me in the middle of Edinburgh Festival once, right? I had
Yeah.
a joke about how people always used to tell me that I look much younger than I am.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the run of that show,
You became old.
I became old, and so that joke wasn't landing because I looked like it's.
What
and
happened? What
but it's 'cause
changed?
you're now at the age where you're not. I had to because I obviously had a completely different look. as
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mentioned at the
yeah.
beginning.
You had a hat.
I had a hat and
You had short hair and a hat.
yeah. And basically, I was growing into my man's body in my mid-30s. That's what happens. You like become
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bloke
yeah,
rather
yeah,
than a
yeah.
boy, and that's the stage that you're at.
Right.
As for the decrepitness part of it, I think you've got to take a look at your pillows, what you're sleeping on.
I've got a block now. I used to have
Yes.
a squashy shape, and now I've got a rectangular block because they say
And
it's all about how it fits.
where'd
in
you
there,
get your
innit?
block?
Can't remember.
Jenny.
Block shop.
Me and my wife got loads of John Lewis vouchers when we got
Oh, yeah.
married, and we bought they are £50 pillows.
Wow,
That's not the weight.
that'll be nice.
And they're orthopedic
They sue you
pillows, so
from
they're a
it.
bit like
Right.
that.
What, you don't need what, for walking?
It's like a,
No, no,
a
for
rectangle.
sleeping.
Orthopedic doesn't mean just for walking.
Yeah, we walk around
Walking
with our
pillows.
pillows. I think it's helped.
Right.
Yeah, but your block sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds like it's helping a bit.
Have you been to
I think
a...
I resent because I'm doing this physio every 2 days.
Okay.
It takes half an hour, and they told me you might just have to do that forever to make sure it doesn't get too bad. And then I added up the time. I thought if I live to 90 and I'm doing that half an hour every 2 days, I can't remember what the sum was, but it was a big number at the end. So I'm spending a big chunk of my life now just trying to stop my body from becoming too old. And
Do
that
you do
seems
yoga?
like a no. Maybe I should do
That's
that
good.
I think
Maybe that's
that
better.
helps everything, if
Yeah.
we're honest. I think we
Really?
should all just do yoga.
all the
Yeah,
time.
man.
I
come
don't,
on.
but you should.
You can tell it's good.
We're going to get on to listeners' problem because we're rapidly running out of
Sure.
time.
Oh,
As you get to that, Have you gone to a what do they call them?
I've got to it.
Reiki?
Not Reiki.
Oh, I have had Reiki.
A chiropractor.
Oh, no. Probably should.
Oh, I tell you
Probably
what's
should do
good.
that.
I don't know because there's two different types, isn't there? There's chiropractor and what's the other one? Osteopathy.
Osteopath.
Yeah.
Now, Bethnal Green,
Yeah.
by Cambridge Heath Station, there's a school of, I think it is osteopathy,
Oh.
and the students do it, but
For
they're in
free?
their very final year. No, it's very cheap.
Okay.
And or if you are currently out of work, it is free. But
Right.
you'd
But
have
we're
to pay for
always
that.
out of work.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's like it's cheap because it's somebody doing it under the supervision for their training.
Right.
And that's what I did when I had a bad back, and it fixed me.
that
Right.
happened to
Really?
me
Yeah.
and the barbers
Well, you
yesterday.
do it. Oh.
They had. I got.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had
you can tell.
Someone being. Yeah. I got the
Student?
kid. Yeah. No, they made
child?
They made a child watch the barber cut my hair, so the child could learn. He wasn't a child. He was like a teenage boy.
Okay, so here we go. This is a problem that's been sent in by Adventurous Switch 89. Can we get some real names? Have some respect. Say hello. Introduce yourself.
That might be.
No, right. This hasn't got a hello or nothing. Introduce yourself. Be polite. Have some
Adventurous
manners.
Switch.
Adventurous-Switch 89.
Probably
Pretty
not
cool.
a name.
No.
Doesn't sound like.
So I got a job offer recently, and after I was offered the job, HR required me to give 5 references. It seems like a lot. 5
is a lot.
references to email
That's not right.
them. References to email. I've never had to give that many references before. I think it's ridiculous. I didn't even need references for my current position, and I think the practice of giving references is antiquated. I was able to get 4 references. I stupidly did the last reference myself under a fake email using the name of a former manager who probably doesn't remember me. I was desperate and frustrated, and it's no excuse, but now I'm worried that if they check it out, I'm going to lose my job. It feels like it wasn't worth the risk. What should I do in retrospect?
Which job is he going to lose?
the new one.
The new one, but they would have checked references before you get it, no? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, does this person know that they've got the
Well,
job?
no,
Have they
they're
been
probably on a
offered the job?
probation period, right? I'm assuming, like most jobs, you have to.
Oh, is that?
You do 3
And then
6 months.
they
in a
check your
proper job.
references.
During the thing.
Do they? I thought that was part of the process
lot
of
of
But I
hiring.
think
they-
I think what they're basically saying in a nutshell is that they've maybe gotten away with it to this point, but now they're
They're
going to be
worried it's always
constantly
there.
worried that,
It's
yeah,
like,
it's like
the
Wait,
one day
so-
they'll
It's
go,
it's like the
"We
body
must
buried
call-"
under the patio
Yeah.
So
of jobs.
they've used an old boss's email address?
No, a fake
or
email address
a
and an
fake-
old boss's name.
Okay, but do they
They've
have
set up a
access-
fake email
if
address.
they've
This
got
is fraud.
I think it's all right, man.
It's
So
fraud.
if they've got the fake, they have.
Yeah, they can just reply
access
to
to
any
it.
emails.
You're going to jail with
But
Joz who's borrowing
potentially-
people's passwords for streaming services.
Potentially, you might get into a situation where if they do check the reference and then they have to reply to the email as their fake boss, and if they then like really
this
hit
is
it
a
off,
this is a great premise for a sitcom, isn't
yeah,
it?
they become or they're
It's like
really
Mrs.
impressed by this guy.
Doubtfire.
They're like, this person
Or
is
Kenan and
really.
Kel.
We need to
That
hire
is a
this
good idea.
person.
Oh, they're like, we should go into business together.
Yeah.
we should merge.
We should go for dinner.
Then
So
he's
it's-
got to run a fake thing on email for years.
It
And
will,
they've got
it
to
will
show
be
up in
fine as long as they
in a
keep
fake
their
beard.
emails quite kind of impersonal, I think. But if there's any like sparks in that email exchange, then they're in trouble because that's just gonna multiply.
Damn, so you got to be boring when you reply.
Yeah, they've got to
You
go.
can't
Yes,
be
this
exciting.
person was a good worker.
And
I
don't
kinda think-
ever contact me again.
Also, they probably don't check sometimes unless there's a
I don't
problem,
think
right?
they check.
I don't think you check 5.
I don't think you check
G5
You wouldn't check the 5th one on the list.
It's usually one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it one reference?
Imagine
maybe 2.
Bilal, imagine if you had to give references
Maybe 2.
and you put me down as your 5th choice.
Yeah.
I'd be heartbroken.
You want to be first?
Yeah.
But there's no order, right? I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah,
that
it's
you
not
were-
like order of preference, is
Yeah.
it? It's
Is
just it's like random.
Best
It's like
to
and in
worst.
no particular order.
Yeah.
Or you should put them alphabetical. Yeah, yeah.
Alphabetical order.
I've never been anyone's reference. I feel sad about that.
But you're not. You don't.
Never
It's
have
like I've
employed
never-
anyone.
it's like I've never
Is it
been a
only if you've
godfather.
employed
I
people?
think so.
It's never just like this person knows me and.
No, I don't think that's what the
Oh yeah.
employers are after. Can we hear from your friends?
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. No, he's not been a reference.
Right. Have you not?
Why would I be?
Have you
He
ever
just
made a
looks
reference?
like he owns a company, but
I do. It's my
yeah.
own comedy company, and it's going very just okay.
have I what? Sorry, what?
Have you ever been a reference?
No. Have I? No.
I feel sad about it. I
But
feel like I want to
is
tick
it
that
bad?
off before
Okay, look, right. I got married earlier this year. Now, my wife
Congratulations.
does things very much the proper way.
Right.
But as soon as I hear that this guy's pretending to be his reference, I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, am I evil?
I get a bit nervous hearing it, but I think I've got too
I
much
don't
like
care.
play. You know,
I'm well
Try
up
to be
for
good sort of
dodgy
thing.
stuff.
Oh,
All
well, you
the
know
time.
me.
Yeah,
I confess that one thing a week on this podcast.
that's true. He's worse.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't feel bad anymore.
I nearly got a job once laundering money for a gang, and when I
Oh.
realised that's what it was, I had to cancel the whole
You're not.
application.
Are you an accountant?
No, I was offered. It's when I just moved to London. I needed like part-time work, and I was looking on the job websites, and there was this one that when we need you to do, it's like an admin role. And then as it went on, I sent them my application and everything, and then I read the actual thing of what they needed me to do, and they're like, "We just need you to open a bank account in your name so that we can process some transactions through it. That's it. That's the
Oh.
job." And then I said, "That sounds like money laundering." And they said, "Oh, it sounds like you don't want the job." And then I never heard from them again.
Yeah, Ozark. Have you seen that?
No,
That's what
is
they
it that?
do in that, but it's not that. It's a bit smarter than that.
bit bigger than that.
yeah, it's a bit bigger. There's like
Right.
a drug cartel, and
That's all we've kind of got time for.
has that been okay for you, or do you
I think so.
do you
I think
not
my
good
problem
enough?
is it's an attitude thing. You're saying I got to
Oh, yeah,
I got to
I-
decide to associate less with the
You got to
the
let
shoulder
go of the
and
past.
the yeah.
I
and
think
just
go to
accept
the
this is who I am now.
student
yeah, and
osteopaths,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, and that.
Get
yeah.
it.
I think
Path?
that's
Osteopath?
solved it.
Osteopath.
Psychopath.
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 Run the bath. Bath.
Bath.
Psychopath.
Osteopath. Okay.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been
Thank you so
absolute
much for having
pleasure.
me. It's been a pleasure.
And I hope we can do some more stuff together soon.
That'd be lovely.
in
Have you
the
guys had your
creatively.
problems solved? You're going to needle felt and direct to film.
Yeah.
You're going to be less aggressive to bus drivers.
I'm not. I'm going to.
No,
You're
no,
going to
no,
continue
it's
to
gonna
right.
be more.
Okay.
It's gonna be
That's
violent.
the solution.
Well, we'll see because I'm going to Glasgow, so we'll see in a couple of weeks if I've learnt my lesson.
Just don't
I've
get
got
a
to do the
bus,
same thing.
man. Just avoid the bus.
I tried, couldn't get an Uber outside that fucking airport. Thank you for like recapping though, Joz. That's a very good.
No,
guest
that's
has
all
ever
right.
done
We don't
that
usually
before.
Really?
do that.
No, it's good. We
Usually the
should.
guest is like, check out my album.
That's why.
Oh yeah, and do check out my album as well.
And if you've liked and rated and liked and enjoyed and want to rate this podcast, then why wouldn't you? Then please like, rate, and subscribe the podcast.
It's on YouTube, you know.
You can watch us
Please tell your friends and cousins
and any people from the service station you might meet.
and anyone else. Doctors.
And psychopaths.
Psychopaths. Until next time. Bye.
I've already stopped.
Oh. Yeah, I've stopped.